Star Wars The Acolyte Episode 4 titled Day sees both May and Khofar as well as the Jedi search for Kelnaka on Khofar, fighting to arrive before the end of daylight. A few themes were further explored, and Michael Abels finally had the chance to totally be himself in this horror-filled episode. This is Star Wars Music Analysis.
Do it.
As the episode begins, we hear large flutes giving us the sound that we always expect to hear as we enter some sort of jungle environment. As we find ourselves on Khofar with Kelnaka, the music is full of eerie half-steps as well, and it was close enough to May's theme to help us make a connection as we see the many circular objects that have been drawn on the walls that are like the one on May's forehead. The concept is further driven home with us as one final circle is revealed on the wall. As it is, the Indian singing like what we heard during the ceremony in Episode 3 enters. As Osha and Jek speak, the horn that often plays Osha's theme enters, but it never actually gives us the theme as it's set against the strings. However, there is a brief moment of May's theme as the two talk about her.
Jedi's problem now. And I'm not a Jedi.
We hear a version of May's theme again as she lands on Khofar, and these two continue to feel very amateurish to me, and I'm assuming that was intentional as they aren't actual Sith. They're designed to feel less threatening so that we know when we've found a true threat later on. With that said, it's a little off-putting sometimes. What have you been all thinking about this though?
That is one Jedi who doesn't want to be found.
As the Jedi, including a younger Ki-Adi-Mundi, discuss the situation on Coruscant, Vernestra Rwoh begins to bring heavy weight to the conversation. I have to say that being able to see one of the characters from the High Republic books in live action is really cool. Although this does mean that Rwoh is over 100 years old, but it helps connect to that earlier era. And if you didn't know, she's the youngest ever Jedi to be knighted at just 15. This is also a really important conversation because it shows how the Jedi still don't know who trained May or that the Sith exist. Further, this group of Jedi are actually holding all of this information back from the Jedi Grand Council. As their conversation continues, May's theme enters underneath, giving a further sense of pending doom as we wonder whether Kelnaka will survive or not. It appears several other times as they continue to discuss the assassin. It leaves me curious if May will eventually turn in this series, and if she does, what Michael Abels will do with this theme, which could also represent simply the underlying plot. As Khofar begins to become defensive, clearly withholding information in the next scene, a high-string tremolo enters. She begins to ask about Osha, and the music becomes more tender to reflect something inside May becoming softer as well. But as Khofar mentions soul, the fire in May returns and the music takes on a darker tone before leading back to the primitive sounds of May's war drums. As Soul asks Osha for her help capturing May, a theme enters that I believe is related to the theme we hear when Master Indara dies in Episode 1.
Well, not officially.
You need me so you can get to her. So, I can't.
When I told May,
I've been waiting for it to return since Abels mentioned that this theme, when Indara dies, was the theme of profound loss, and that we would be hearing it again. Here, it plays as Osha reflects on all of the loss of her past, and considers her ability to go against her sister, who she thought she had lost. It's not identical, but it's very close.
well, not officially.
You need me so you can get to her. So, I can't.
When I told May,
A bunch of other short motifs enter as well, and again, I'm lost in what these are supposed to be representing. And as they speak more on May, her theme enters as well.
She's a murderer.
But she is still your family.
As the space rodent sniffs Pip suspiciously, playful music enters to lighten the mood. And as the Jedi arrive out of hyperspace and descend to Khofar, the music also begins high before descending with the ship into the lower instruments. But as the Jedi go forth on their journey in really Lord of the Rings style, the strings pick up to carry them on. This was a fun but short track where Abels kept a steady pulse underneath while giving us both a feeling of 4 and also 3 at the same time. And this technique actually brought a lot of life to this moment through this rhythmic overlay. The flutes meanwhile take up Osha's theme as she journeys with them. As Yord and Osha discuss May, her descending half-steps return to bring the seriousness back to the moment. May's drums return next, the same drums that preface each of her previous kills as well. As the Jedi pause in a dark area of the forest, the music resembles the forest with dark, ominous textures and low drones. High string harmonics add a further chill to the music. The horns enter next with large rips that go higher and higher. The music calms again though as Soul kills the giant bug. But we can probably all see where this is going to be heading.
It's attracted to light.
It went straight for the saber.
It's attracted to light.
Let's move.
And as the scene ends, Abels has been very subtly creating transitions in the music that are very similar to many that we might hear from Williams as well during the original trilogy. And while it's subtle, it's these little colorings that allow us to know that this really is a Star Wars score, and a detail that many composers might overlook. I hope that in the future, more composers look to this model when scoring new shows and movies as well. And as we move back to May, she once again demonstrates her amateurism as she insists on resting as the sun nearly sets.
No. You can't stop now.
I have to fight a Wookiee after this trek.
But as she does rest, her theme plays again. And who else was surprised by this turn of events for May?
I don't need to do this anymore. I don't need to kill a Jedi without a weapon. I don't need to keep this deal.
What?
What I'm going to do is surrender myself to Kelnaka. My loyalty is to Osha, not your master.
What are you doing?
As Soul stops suddenly, he clearly senses some sort of darkness. But along with this, we hear a short musical motif that we also heard in episode 3 as a mysterious sound is heard and one of the Coven go to investigate, also clearly sensing something dark and strange. It's my belief that whatever was there in the Coven fortress is now here as well. Some powerful darkness that looms in the shadows and that will only be revealed in the last minutes of this show. What do you all think? Is there a connection here? But as Osha speaks to Soul, her theme enters as she battles with her ability to do the right thing.
You're going to face.
May's battle drums pick up again as she charges toward Kelnaka's hideout, at least until she falls flat on her face. What an amateur. The ensuing chaos is reflected in the music as the Jedi are alerted to May's presence.
Master Kelnaka!
But as May enters the home of Kelnaka, only to find that he's already been killed by a lightsaber, a new mystery emerges and the music freezes with May's disbelief. Just then, the last bit of light disappears, shrouding everything in darkness. A contrabassoon enters with a low, eerie motif. It's a minor triad in second inversion that then leaps down to a half step below where it began. Nothing about this bodes well for anyone. The low strings move in and out of sul ponticello distortions as May decides who she wants to anger in this moment. But Soul senses that darkness once more. The strings begin to play a horrifying collegno buttato, which is when they strike the strings with the back of the wooden portion of their bow. This is where Abels shines, in these horror music moments where everything feels like nails on a chalkboard. This scene is why he was tapped for this job, I'm sure of it, as the master reveals themselves. Smears in the strings continue the haunting effect. String clusters build as everyone ignites their lightsabers. It builds into a wall of sound as the brass enter and swell next. And that's where we leave it, now halfway through this series, and dang, what a cliffhanger. But I absolutely would love to know what all of you think. What do you think of this episode? And what do you think will happen next? Were you surprised at May's sudden change of heart?
I don't need to kill a Jedi without a weapon. I don't need to keep this deal. What?
And do you think this dark figure was present at the Coven Fortress based on the similar music cue? Who do you think they are? My theories are either Keemer, who has just been pretending to be pathetic, or it's one of the Coven moms in heavy disguise. And if you're someone who is frustrated by this show, tell me why. I keep getting angry comments about this show and how people think it's garbage, but I really can't personally understand it. So help me out and let's have a dialogue. Tell me in the comments below what you think, and consider checking out my Patreon page using the link in the description, where you can help support this channel for as little as $1 a month, or download PDFs and MP3s of projects as I complete them, along with other perks at higher tiers. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to learn more about the music of a galaxy far, far away, and as always, may the be with you.